a couple of things before we actually start the class. It'll be brief. My name is Rick Rowan, and I've been working with Veterans Yoga Project since about beginning in 2014, and then joining staff in 2015, and am the Regional Director for the Carolinas. I am a U.S. Air Force retired pilot and a combat veteran. Veterans Yoga Project. So yeah, I've been with VYP, and VYP is on a mission to basically support recovery and resilience among our veterans and now our active duty and their family members. So we've been training yoga teachers for about 10 years. Actually, we just celebrated our 10th anniversary. So we've been in business about 10 years. We've actually taught yoga teachers how to work with veterans, several of them, a couple thousand actually, but we have programs for veterans both in person and online all across the country at VA medical facilities and veteran centers and with other veteran service organizations. This, of course, is a kickoff for our Veterans Gratitude Week fundraising campaign. So if we are asking you to please donate to Veterans Yoga Project, so we can continue the work we do with our veterans and our active duty personnel. Today's class is to honor those who serve or served with the United States Air Forces. And just a little bit of history here. The Air Forces actually were instituted in 1907 as a division of the Army Signal Corps. During World War I, 38 American pilots joined a French unit called the Lafayette Escadrille, and that was a fighter unit. The Signal Corps in the US Army did not really consider the aircraft a fighting machine, so it was more of a reconnaissance thing. But the Lafayette Escadrille were a group of fighter pilots. Most of them were US pilots. Later in World War I, that unit did join the US Army and did fight in World War I. In 1918, you had the U.S. Army Air Service came into being, and later it became the U.S. Army Air Corps. And then during World War II, it was called the U.S. Army Air Forces, until finally in 1947, the United States Air Force was established. So that's a little bit of background and history. So the class today is to honor those who served or served in all of those various organizations along the way. So today what we're going to do is we'll start on the mat. We'll have a short period of kind of centering and settling the mind by focusing the mind, and then we'll move to some seated warm-up practices, and then we'll come to standing, do some work there, and then we'll come back down to the mat to cool down a little bit, and finally we'll do a guided rest at the end of the practice. If you have something you can use as a strap, or have your mat or whatever it is that you think you might need, a tie or something, a belt, anything that you might want to use as a strap that might be helpful, that's good. So I can be very directive in my teaching style. So, but I want to be aware that you don't have to do anything I tell you to do in this practice. You can rest whenever you want. It's totally up to you what you do during the practice, and I want you to be sure and take care of yourselves. We don't move into pain or gritting your teeth or anything like that. So when we move and when we do these postures, we want you to feel something. We want you to find sensation, but not pain. Okay, if something does hurt, or you feel that twinge of pain, then either back off or rest as we practice. Good, so that's that. Let me go ahead and just shed myself of the sweatshirt here. And I'll be moving back to the mat. So I'd like us all to begin by noticing the connection that you have with the mat. And if you have a chair, actually a chair is handy to have. And you can do a lot of what we do without getting on your hands and knees by using the seat of a chair. So notice the connection that you have with wherever you are, down through the sits bones. If you're seated, you can lie down for this initial part of the class if you choose. But just notice whatever parts of the body are in contact with the mat. And then just bring your awareness into what you feel and sense in the body. Bring your awareness into what you feel as you breathe, inhaling and exhaling. And during this centering, you can move if you choose. You can find more ease, more comfort. And for the next hour or 50 minutes, you've got nowhere to go and nothing to do except to be right here, right now, in the present moment. Close your eyes, come to that soft focus. Just noticing the breath. Releasing down from the top of the head, down through the body, down through the legs and feet, arms and hands. Just allowing everything to release. Now allow the breath to deepen here into what we call a three-part breath, taking the inhale down into the belly and then smoothly moving it up to the middle chest and then into the upper chest. So just feel that breath, that inhale rolling from the belly up and then just exhaling and letting it all out. And if you can incorporate that ocean breath, that warrior breath, with a little tightness in the back of the throat so you hear the exhale. So exhale here and one more full deep inhale in, fill the lungs. And then open the mouth and let it go. And opening the eyes. Good, you can move gently here. Bring yourself back. Yeah, okay, so come to an upright seat. So you're lifting up through the top of the head as you press down or root down through those sits bones on the mat or in the chair, wherever you are. Inhale, and as you exhale, take the gaze over your right shoulder and let the chin drop down toward the right shoulder. Release the left shoulder down. And then inhale and bring the head up into center. And now exhale and take the gaze to the left and let the chin drop toward the left shoulder. Inhaling, bring the head up into center. Exhaling, the chin down toward the chest, keeping the shoulders back and the chest or heart toward the front of the mat. Don't close the throat. And now draw the chin toward the right shoulder. And then bring the chin to center and to the left. Chin center and to the right, and chin center and to the left. And with the chin in the center, inhale the head up. Draw the shoulders back, take the gaze up toward the ceiling. Press the jaw forward and up. And as you inhale, come back to that upright seat. So take that deep breath in and exhale. Good, let's bring the arms wide, reaching out through the fingers. The fingers are spread, drawing the arms in toward the shoulders or into the body so you feel the arms become strong, the muscles are tight in the arms. Turn the palms toward the front of the mat, and as you inhale, draw the hands and arms back, take the gaze up to the ceiling, point the fingers behind, noticing all that openness across the body. Now, as you exhale, bring the hands to the knees and the chin down toward the chest. Release here, rounding back. Big, long, slow inhale. Take the arms wide, point the fingers behind, gaze to the ceiling. Exhaling, hands to knees, chin to chest. And one more time, reaching wide, fingers spread, opening. And exhale, hands to knees, rounding back. Inhaling, coming back up to that upright seat. Good. Bring the hands out to the side, fingertips down on the floor. As you inhale, turn the palms up toward the ceiling and allow the hands to rise up toward the ceiling. Follow the hands up there. And if it works for your shoulders, bring the hands together. And now turn the palms out, exhale, and bring the hands and arms down. Inhaling, palms to the ceiling, hands rise up. And exhaling, reaching wide, hands and arms come down. And one more time, hands to the ceiling, reaching up. Bring the hands together. Take the gaze straight ahead and now draw the hands and arms back by the ears, still reaching through the fingertips. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the forehead and to the heart. And bring a sense of gratitude to your practice here. We have so much to be thankful for in this country. Bring to mind just one thing that you're grateful for today. And release. Good. All right. Bring the left hand across to the outside of the right thigh. The right hand comes behind. Lift up tall in the center of the mat, and then spiral into a gentle twist, looking over the right shoulder. Looking back toward the back of the mat. Inhaling, come to center. Bring the right hand across, lifting, exhaling, that gentle twist to the left. Inhaling, coming back to center. And now let's do that again to the right, this time extending the right arm behind, looking back toward that right hand. Inhaling, come to center, and that extended twist now to the left. Inhaling, coming back to center. Take a breath in and exhale. Extend the right arm straight out in front, fingers spread, thumb pointing to the ceiling. Stay tall as you draw that arm in toward the shoulder and reach forward through the fingertips. As you inhale, let that hand rise up toward the ceiling, following it up there with the gaze without straining the neck. Good, reach. Turn the palm toward the front of the mat. Move that arm back and reach the hand up and back. Don't strain the neck. Breathe. And now bring that right hand back up to the ceiling. Bring the left hand out to the side, slide it out, arcing over to the left. Right shoulder back, gazing up. Now turn the gaze down toward the left hand on the floor, keeping the right shoulder back and moving the left shoulder toward the front of the mat. Good. Gaze comes back up toward the ceiling, still reaching. Bring that right hand back up, reach up to the ceiling, and exhale the right hand down. Good. Now just kind of move that arm, move that shoulder. Notice what you feel in that arm and the shoulder. Good. Extend the left hand, left arm straight out in front. Lifting tall, inhale. Left hand comes up. Turn the palm toward the front, reaching up and back. Breathe. Bring the left hand up to the ceiling, turn the palm in. Bring out the right hand, slide it out, arcing right. Let the gaze drift down toward the right hand on the floor, keeping the left shoulder back. Gazing back toward the ceiling. Take the left hand back up, reach up there, ground down through that left sits bone as you reach high. Exhaling that left arm down, and again, moving that left shoulder and that left arm. Good. So as you inhale, take the shoulders and lift them up toward the ears, and then bring the points of the shoulders back and down, feeling the shoulder blades coming together at the back or toward the center. Gently move the head so the neck stays relaxed. Keep the face soft. And release. Inhaling, lifting the shoulders toward the ears. And now take the shoulders back and down. Heart toward the front of the mat. Not so much a sway in the back here, but moving the heart forward and release. And one more time as you inhale, bring the shoulders toward the ears. Take the shoulders back and down. Good. Take 2 deep breaths right here. Holding the shoulders back. One more breath. And release. Yeah, good. All right. Bring the arms wide and bring this left arm across the body. Bring the right arm under and the right hand up into the left shoulder. So you're going to hug that left arm in toward the body. Finding sensation here in the upper shoulder. Inhaling, come wide with the arms. And now bring the right arm across, the left hand under to the right shoulder. And as you inhale, come wide with the arms. Now turn the palms down toward the floor and turn the fingers up toward the ceiling. So you're pressing out through the heels of the hands. You're drawing the pinky fingers back toward you, and the fingers are up toward the ceiling. Strong through the arms here. Breathe. Now take the palms down toward the floor. Bring the fingers together and the thumbs to the fingers, or you can come into fists and now turn the fingers and the knuckles down toward the floor. Staying strong through the arms, noticing what you feel in the upper arms, top of the arms. And now open the hands wide, spread the fingers, and bring the hands back down. Take that deep breath in. And let it go. Good. Let's come over onto all fours. Come into your table. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to do moving cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift the gaze straight ahead. The belly sinks toward the mat. Now as you exhale, round up and take the hips back toward the heels, opening the legs a little bit for space for the belly. Good. Bring the forearms down. The elbows come down to the mat. And as you inhale, you come forward on the forearms, and then you lift back up, lifting the gaze straight ahead. So exhaling round, bringing the hips back toward the heels. Elbows come down. Inhaling, coming forward and up. So make this feel good. We're going to do 3 more of these. Inhaling, exhaling back. Bringing the arms down, inhaling forward and up. Exhaling round, taking the hips back. Coming forward and up. Last one. Exhale round, moving the hips back. And coming forward and up. Good. I don't want to run you out of breath. So if my breathing is too slow or too fast or whatever for you, you can do these moves with your breath. So always remember it's your practice and you can do with it whatever you want. If there's a certain movement or a posture that would feel good for you anywhere along the line, feel free to go ahead and just do that and then join us back when you've done what you want to do. Good. Extend your right leg back with the toes down on the mat. Let that right hip release down toward the mat. And if you look under your right shoulder, you can kind of see a straight line from the shoulder back to the toes or back to the heel of that right foot. Pressing back gently through the heel. Remembering to breathe. Now lift that foot hip height, extend the left arm, and now we are in upward pose or bird dog. Breathe. Staying strong. Core strength. And exhaling, bring the hand down and bring that right knee down. Good. Take a breath. Now extend the left leg with the toes on the mat. Release the hips as you press back through the heel. Remember, in yoga, less is more. So pushing and pressing is really not going to be of that much benefit. It's better to be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, move to sensation rather than pain or agony. No pain, no gain does not work in yoga. Bring that left foot hip height, extending the right arm into awkward pose. One more deep breath. Exhale, the right hand down, the left knee down. Take a breath here. So let's do some big circles. So take the body out to the right and then move back toward the heels, taking the hips back toward the heels. Again, widening the thighs a little bit. And now to the left and forward with your breath. Find a little stretch in the wrists as you come forward and then exhale back. Big circles. Now let's go the other way. Take the body to the right and forward, finding a little stretch in the wrist to the left and back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. One more big circle. Then just let those hips settle back toward the heels. Bring the arms in and cross the arms. Rest your head on your arms and just take a breath or two right here. Good. Lifting the head, reach the hands up toward the front of the mat, the top of the mat. So the elbows are lifted, hands are shoulder width apart, fingers spread, and you're gripping the mat with the fingers. Let the head release down toward the mat. Keep the arms lifted or the elbows lifted. Now, as you inhale, the straight arms come up and come forward into knee plank. Bring the shoulder blades onto the back. Curl the toes if you choose. If you want, curl the toes and come into full plank. Take a breath. Then exhale, bring the knees down and bring the hips back toward the heels. Let the head release toward the mat, keeping the arms strong. Inhaling, lifting up, coming forward, knee plank, curl the toes, full plank. Take a breath. Now bring the knees down and bring the hips back toward the heels. And one more. Inhaling, coming forward, coming to knee plank, hips drop, and then full plank. Yes, one breath. Exhaling, the knees down, hips come back toward the heels. Good, take that breath. Walk the hands off the mat to the right side, bring the left hand onto the right. Let the head release down toward the right knee and draw the left hip back. Find that opening down through the shoulder, the left shoulder and the left ribs. Now bring the hands to center and over to the left, right hand on left. Draw the right hip back, head releases toward the knee. Now bring the hands back to center, still reaching. And one more time, come forward into knee plank, but now let the hips settle toward the mat. Lift the gaze straight ahead. Keep the elbows in toward the body, into upward dog. Breathe. And now exhale, take the hips back toward the heels. Bring the arms in, rest your head on your arms, or your resting pose. The hands can be down by your ankles, head resting on a block or the mat, or you can rest your head on the crossed palms. Come back up into your table. Bring the knees back in under the hips. Take that breath. Fingers spread wide. That middle finger is pointed toward the front of the mat. Thumbs are reaching toward the center of the mat. Now bring the right foot to the top of the mat. And see if you can get that right heel just ahead of the knee. So you're finding your low lunge here with the left knee on the mat. You're on your fingertips here. And now lift the gaze straight ahead as you gently move that right knee toward the front of the mat. So you're working to keep the shoulder blades on the back, not rounded here, but lifted up. Yeah, cool, right. And now bring the hands to the knee. Stay low, because when you bring the hands up, the hips want to lift. So we want to try and stay low. And now bring the arms up into what we call crescent lunge. Bringing the hands back down to the mat. Coming again on fingertips, lifting the gaze, letting the hips settle. And now straighten that right leg. Be a little bend in the knee here. Draw the right hip back. And you're folding over that right leg. So it's a gentle head to knee. One more breath. And coming back to center, to the high lunge on fingertips. And now curl the back toes, press through the back heel, the left heel, lifting that knee off the mat. So now we're in high lunge and our gaze is straight down. So straight line from the top of the head to the heel of the left foot. Allow the hips to settle. Good, bring the left knee down and bring that right foot, right knee back beside the left. And come to your resting pose, either coming down, resting the head on the arms, or child's pose, or into what we call hero, resting back on your heels. Coming back into table, bring the left foot to the front of the mat. Step it up there. Put it where you want it to be. And we're going to be coming to low lunge first. So I like to come up on fingertips. My fingertips are back even with the heel of my front foot. And then I lift my gaze straight ahead, allowing the hips to settle. Bring the hands to the knee, still staying low. Shoulders come back. And crescent lunge. Exhaling, bring the hands down. And our low lunge, fingertips, gaze lifts, hips settle. And as you exhale, straighten that left leg. Almost straight, but not quite. Head to knee, drawing the left hip back. Inhaling, coming forward into that low lunge. Gaze lifts, hips settle. And now curl the toes. Come into the high lunge, take the gaze down toward the mat. Get long, top of the head to the heel of the right foot. Two more deep breaths. Exhaling, bring the right knee down and bring that left knee back beside the right. And come down to your resting pose or back into hero. Good, come down onto all fours. And now we're going to curl the toes and lift into downward facing dog. So our knees are bent, fingers spread wide, feet are hip width apart. And the interesting thing about downward facing dog is a lot of people wonder, well, are my feet too close to my hands, or should I be wider or longer here? If you come down into table with the wrists under the shoulders and the knees under the hips, all you need to do to get to the right configuration for downward facing dog is curl the toes and then lift the hips straight up, and you're where you need to be. Now work those heels one at a time, the left heel toward the mat and the right heel toward the mat. Good, now step the feet toward the front of the mat, walking up there. Check the heels turned out slightly. The outside edges of both feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. Now inhale and come into half lift. The hands just below the knees on the shins. Press the belly toward the mat. Gaze is straight down. Shoulder blades come onto the back. Take a breath. And now as you exhale, with bent knees, come down to forward fold, putting the belly on the upper thighs. Let the head release. The weight comes to the front of the feet. And again, you work the heels in forward fold. One heel presses into the mat, then the other. Gently move the head. Face is soft, neck relaxed. Now bend the knees, press into the mat. We're going to round up here as we inhale. So let the arms hang, head is the last to come up. Bring the shoulders back, gaze comes straight ahead, arms go wide. And as you inhale, the hands drift up toward the ceiling. Gaze lifts, strong through the legs as you reach. Exhale into your mountain pose. Ah, good. So a little bit of a yoga flop here. Just kind of letting the arms flop side to side. You can ragdoll, you can do all kinds of things to kind of let things go and release. Yeah, okay. We're going to move into what I call spinal flow, the 6 motions of the spine: forward bend, backward bend, side bend, each side, and then a twist in each direction. We're not going to do it in that order, but follow me through this now. So we're looking down at your feet. Pick up the mat with your toes. Try to pick the mat up with your toes here. Good. And I want you to get that sensation of pressing down into the mat with your feet. So you're pressing down, and at the same time, you're lifting the heart, bringing the chin in just a little bit. The hips roll under just slightly. shoulders back, arms come strong. This is your mountain pose. So inhale the hands up. Now exhale and take the right hand down, arcing over to your right. Keep the left shoulder back. Inhale, bring the right arm up. Exhale the left arm down, arcing to your left. Inhaling the left hand up. Now take the arms wide, turn the palms up to the ceiling and spiral into a twist to the right, looking back toward the right hand. Inhale and come up. Exhale that twist to the left, palms to the ceiling. Inhale up. Bring the hands to the heart, long through the spine as you hinge and bend the knees into forward fold. Let the head release. Bring the weight forward. And now bend the knees deeply. Bring the hands out in front. Reach forward as you lift up. Bringing the hands to the ceiling. Exhale the hands back on the ceiling. Inhaling the hands up. Bring the gaze straight ahead. Draw the arms back. Exhale into your mountain pose. Oh yeah, feels good. And then you can kind of step it off and do your yoga flop, whatever feels good. We're going to work through a sun salutation A. So from mountain, again, pressing down, lifting up. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, arms wide. Now we're diving into this forward fold with bent knees. Let the head release. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, the hands down to the mat. Step both feet back into plank. Knees can come down. Strong through the arms. Take a breath. And exhale, lower down to the mat. Bring the tops of the feet to the mat. Press down so the kneecaps lift off the mat, and then lift the chest, the head and the upper chest off the mat. Breathe. Good. Bring the knees down or curl the toes and press up the plank. And then into downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Now step the feet toward the hands. Come to half lift. Exhale down to the forward fold. Now get long through the spine. Take the arms wide. Press into the mat. Coming up. Exhale, mountain pose. Good. Let's work through warrior one on each side, and then we'll move down to the mat to finish our practice. So take a step back with the right foot and make it a pretty good step. 2 lanes for the feet for balance. So the feet are not lined up particularly. Make sure the hip bones are facing the front of the mat. Now bend that front knee. And you want that, again, that front heel to be under or ahead of that left knee. Press down through the outside edge of the back foot. Good, all right. Now lift into warrior one. Take the arms wide and hinge into airplane. So the belly is touching the left thigh. Hands and arms are lifted. Gaze is straight down. Now bring the hands down, fingertips touch the mat or not, and lift back to your warrior one. Good. Bring the hands in prayer to the heart. And take that step to the front of the mat. Yeah, good. So step it now with the left foot. 2 lanes for the feet. Bend that front knee. And be sure you can see your big toe to the inside of the knee so that knee isn't collapsing toward the center of the mat. Get strong through the back leg. Inhale into your warrior one. Take the arms wide, hinge into airplane. Bring the hands down and now lift back to warrior one. Bring the hands in prayer. Up on the back toes and just step to the front of the mat. Good. So let's work our tree pose. Standing balance. Find a spot on the floor that you can focus on. And then bring the weight over to the left foot. I like to start with my hands at my hips. And now you bring that right heel to the left ankle. Kickstand, we call that. And when you're ready, you can lift that right foot to where you want it to be on the inside of the leg. And the knee to the front and down. Okay, let's try it to the other side. Bring the weight to the right foot. And the left heel comes in. Taking a breath. And then move the left foot to where you want it to be. Knee to the front and down. Good, all right, let's move down toward the mat or work our way down. So pressing into the mat with the feet, lifting tall. Inhale the hands up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back into plank. Inhale here. And exhale, elbows toward the body and lower down. This time we're going to come into locust. So bring the hands down by your side, palms down. Bring the chin down to the mat. And take a breath. And as you inhale, lift the head and the upper chest, and then lift the feet and the legs, and then lift the hands and arms. Good. Point the foot and flex the toes. So you're spreading those toes, but the foot is pointed and breathe. Two more deep breaths. And exhale, bring everything down. Take the right side of the head to the mat. Turn the palms up, heels out. And the left side of the face to the mat. Bring the hands under the shoulders. And then come up gently to table. And then bring the feet around to the front. We'll do a couple of breaths in seated forward fold. Well, let's do something else first. Let's do staff or stick pose first. So get strong through the legs here. Bring the feet together. Press out through the heels of both feet, but point the toes back toward your face. So you're feeling strong in the legs. Bring the hands down beside the hips. Fingers point to the front of the mat. And then press into the mat with the hands, taking just a little bit of weight out of the bottom. This is called stick pose or staff pose for strength. One more deep breath. Good, and release. Now bend the knees, put a little bend in the knees. Get tall. And as you exhale, come forward into a seated forward fold. And you can move the heels in or out to get the sensation that feels okay today for you. Every day is different, and we're different on both sides of our body. Just breathe and release down toward the legs. Inhale, come on up. And now come to your Navasana, your bow pose. So bring the feet about halfway in. Find that balance, seated balance. And from here, you can have one foot on the mat if you choose, or not. But straighten one leg and then straighten the other leg. And then go back to the first leg is straight, pressing through the heel, and the second leg is straight. Or you can actually go all in. You can straighten both legs. One more breath. And as you exhale, bring the soles of the feet together, bring the heels in toward the body, and to cobra pose. Take a breath. And use your elbows to kind of open those legs just a little bit wider as you breathe and release the hips. Good. Slide the feet away and now come into butterfly. So the feet are still together. The elbows come ahead of the shins. And now you release down the head toward the feet. And I'd like to see if I can get a nice sensation of the stretch in the low back. Inhaling, lifting back up. Bring the hands behind the knees and gently come down onto your back. Good. Bring the feet all the way into the hips with the knees, they're hip width apart, the feet are, and the knees are straight up to the ceiling. With the hands down by your side, we're going to do 3 ridges. So as you inhale, press into the mat with the feet and the hips lift up toward the ceiling. Finding a little bit of sensation, I think, in the quads, in the thighs. Exhale and lower. Inhaling, the hips lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. And exhale and lower. Yes, okay, good. You can leave that left foot on the floor, but bring the right knee into the chest, or if you choose, extend that left leg and hug that right knee into the chest. Take the right knee over and up toward the right shoulder. Circle the toes. And now bring the right foot down. You can straighten the right leg. Bring the left knee into the chest. And then draw that knee over and up toward the left shoulder. Circle the toes. And bring the left foot down. Bring the right foot in beside the left. Take the arms wide. And now let the knees fall over to the right and turn your gaze to the left. Take a breath here. Bring the knees to the ceiling, knees left, gaze right. Bring the knees back to the ceiling. Bring both knees into the chest. Gently rock. Side to side. And now the legs are long. Bring the arms behind. We're going to do one full body stretch as you inhale deeply. Get long heels to fingertips. And exhale into Savasana, your resting pose. Palms turn up, toes out. Noticing the connection between the body and the mat, body and the earth. Feel the weight of the body settling into the mat as you completely release. Face is soft, the jaw is released. Shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers relaxed. Belly soft and hollow. Hips, legs, feet, and toes. And notice the breath. Allowing the breath to slow. Just noticing the sensations in the body. Come back gently with little movements, fingers and toes, bend the elbows, bend the knees, stretch. And when you're ready, gently roll to one side. And you can press up if you choose or stay right there on the mat. Coming back, thank you all so much for practicing. We appreciate each and every one of you. So let's all take a deep breath in and exhale. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you all for coming.